at the 1957 Northern Nigerian Conference, Northern Nigerian scholars agreed to take out Sharia from private domain, from public domain. In 1956-59, it was a debate in London what to do with religion. 1979, but we had that concession that religion should not become part of public policy.
I've been able to speak with one of the executive of the Apex Christian body, Kanu, who also confirmed to me that they are going ahead to legal, alternative about the closure of the schools for the 5 weeks of Ramadan. Now, the most important thing that bothers, including Christian schools and private schools, were closed down as well. Why? Because some persons want to fast. So I am happy that for the first time, some news media are also reacting to it, because issues like this, sometimes they just keep mute as if they don't know what is going on or they are not seeing what is happening. Take a listen.
4 northern states of Katsina, Kebbi, Kanu, and Bauchi announced a shutting down of all schools because of Ramadan. There have been reactions from civil society groups. The matter is more of concern following revelations from the National Bureau of Statistics that the 4 states have the highest number of out-of-school children. According to the NBS's Multidimensional Poverty Index, Bauchi State has the highest percentage of children lacking access to education, with a figure of 54%. Kano State follows with 35%, Katsina 38%, and Kebbi at 45%. On the average, these 4 states have 44% of children deprived of education, which is 10 percentage points higher than the national average of 34%. Dr. Sam Amadi is here to help us make sense of all that you just had read out in that story. Dr. Sam, glad to have you join me.
Thank you. Good evening.
Maybe we should start at where Khan says it's prepared to seek legal recourse. Let me quote what they said here. He says, "Our pursuit of peace does not diminish our commitment to justice."
Well, I think Khan is the umbrella of Christian in Nigeria, so it has some locals, especially since some of their members operate schools, okay? Some of them are private schools, some of them are perhaps church-based schools. So the issue of going to court is a peaceful process to resolve conflicts in a democracy. So there's nothing untoward about indication of going to court. What have been problematic is a protest or some kind of, civil quote-unquote street action. So that's good. But again, stepping back, what are the issues here? So first, the government has a right to declare public holiday. So this is not the sense of power to declare public holiday. So for example, we know that even the Ramadan itself, the day of the end of the fast, will be a public holiday, 2 public holidays. Nigeria has been very fair and balanced in public holiday. In fact, some of us think probably we have too many public holidays, okay? But I think if you look at Christmas, which is actually 25th, and the Boxing Day, the government gives 2 days to celebrate Christmas. Gives 2 days for the Fitr, the Kabir, and Easter and all that. So there have been some argument that says, during December we shut down, but that's not true. For example, civil servants work, when I was NEC chairman, we closed 23rd, so 24th, 25th, and people are supposed to resume the next Monday. We've never had, whether for Christians or Muslims, a period where 5 weeks we've shut down schools to celebrate Ramadan. That's 1. 2, let's bear in mind that this is not an action on behalf of imams or the Supreme Council of Islamic. This is just fortuitous by the governor. So it's not a case of Muslims clamoring that they need 5 weeks to have meaningful, fast. Many of us are going to partake in the breaking of fast with our Muslim friends. We know that this is a very serious global activity. It doesn't require government's action to enable it to happen. People have been fasting, whether in Saudi Arabia, in the UK, in Nigeria, anywhere in the world. The religious structure is very clear. You fast, you break your fast. I know that some of businesses allow Muslims perhaps to go early. Some will leave office like 4 or 5.
I think on Fridays
to prepare, even working days.
Okay.
Yeah, just to support, know that, maybe some will need to go home early to prepare.
Okay.
But nothing calls for
5 weeks.
5 weeks of school closure. Again,
especially when you think about the fact, I'm not stopping you, but these states already face alarming rates of out-of-school children.
So first is the fact that there's really no religious justification for this. There's no history of it. There's no clamor by Muslim faithfuls who fast regularly and fast well that, look, they needed to have that happen. That's number one. Number two, now let's look at the human development. So if there's no overriding state interest and there's no overriding religious reason for this, then it's mere populism by the governors, maybe a mistaken notion that they will be seen as too faithful, or some kind of novelty. That's how we got the Sharia.
Doc, because of time, I'll ask you two questions straight out. And one, does this then give credence to the ongoing call for restructuring? That's one. And then two, the NBF Middle Belt Forum is asking the president to exercise his authority to prevent these states from descending into what they call religious fundamentalism.
Well, the issue of restructuring has been there. Three dimensions. One is geopolitical in terms of, but also the state-religious relationship in Nigeria has been problematic. If you look at from the 1957 Northern Nigerian Conference, Northern Nigerian scholars agreed to take out Sharia from private domain, from public domain. In 1956-59, it was a debate in London what to do with religion. In 1959, but we had that concession that religion should not become part of public policy. But we've done more to violate that commitment in terms of whether support for Christian Muslim pilgrimages. I'm of the view that the Nigerian government continuously intermingles too much with religion, not to make religion good, not even to, in fact, to oftentimes desecrate the spirituality of religion itself, but also make it problematic. So this kind of action, 5 days, I mean, some of the schools, probably not Muslim schools, some of the Christian schools, or secular schools, I think this is overreach. I think this is really irresponsible, considering the human development indicators. And the fact that this does not in any way add to the experience of faithful Muslims who have been fasting. Look, most of these kids are going to be school kids who probably are not going to even do that kind of level of fasting.
So under 45 minutes, what MBF is saying, is it feasible? President should, you've talked
the president can use not bulletproof it, but nudging to say, look, governors, this doesn't look good. Look at the data and what are you going to achieve. The president always has influence to nudge them. Now, this is not going to be a case of commandeering resources, but if the president is so mad about this, he could have a ways to show them that his displeasure. Because look, this is gratuitous, this is unnecessary, unreasonable, not religiously edifying, basically doesn't make sense in the context of gross, educational underdevelopment, and the fact that it adds zero to the experience. Muslims have been fasting well. Now, in Saudi Arabia, anywhere in the world, there have not been a need to say close down schools. Okay, why not close down markets? Why not close down government offices? Good. So basically, it's not accessory to fasting. This is just, maybe some kind of misdirected populism to show, okay, the governor is really a good, faithful guy.
So before I just let you go, apparently, it will look so, the rights of non-Muslims Khan pointed that out. It's not protected here.
Yeah, but this is, if you shut down my school because of Muslims are going to, observe their religious activity, then it raises the issue of unconstitutionality. That is violation of the right to freedom of both religion and other freedom. So the state has no right to shut down. If you go to the court, if the court is wise, constitutional law theory, they'll ask, what is the overriding state interest in shutting down schools for Ramadan, a private religious experience? Zero. Any good judge will nullify the executive action of the government.
All right, well, Khan has asked them, is asking them to reconsider their stance. Otherwise, like they said, they may take recourse to the courts. Thank you so much, Dr. Sam Amadi, for being here.
Thank you.